Uh, Good afternoon, everyone. Good evening. It's now 5:27 p.m. This video is just to commemorate the life and the legacy of Mr. Nelson Mandela. I heard about his death probably about 15, 20 minutes ago, and I just wanted to say some words. Growing up as a growing up as a man in West Philadelphia, as a black man, I often heard of, Nelson Mandela growing up, and Martin Luther King and Malcolm X and Mansa Musa, just to name a few. And a lot of these men were my inspiration growing up because they stood up for something positive. Growing up in the community that I lived in, there weren't too many positive male role models. So to have somebody who stood up for the right thing, who stood up for something positive was major. Just reading about him in history, was just wow. He stood up against the corrupt system of apartheid, and um, it was just amazing to hear his story. And I see they have a film coming out about him now, which I plan to go see. Um, I say all that to say this: Nelson Mandela was a visionary, a man who stood for, who stood against injustices against the people. He was somebody who believed in all of us being treated fairly and equally. Um, he went against the grain, and it takes a true hero and a true icon to stand up against the wrong things when everybody else is willing to submit to it. So I pay homage to him. I salute him. I salute his character, his integrity, his intelligence, which was God given. He had God given wisdom. His charisma, just everything about him that made him the magnetic, captivating person that he was. Um, he was known for something positive. He wasn't known for going on Twitter rants or doing something idiotic. And he proved to the world that a black man can do something positive. That a black man doesn't have to be a rapper or a celebrity to make a difference. As long as you're a man or a woman that's willing to work hard to, fight against something that you're not happy with. And Shirley Chisholm said it best years ago. She said a quote about, you can't stay on the outside, complaining and whining about things, about the way things are. You have to be willing to get inside to navigate through the system in order to change it. So just the fact that he was able, he was willing to fight for something, even if it meant losing his freedom, that says a lot. So my heart and prayers go out to him and his family. I pray that God welcomes him into the heavenly kingdom, and I pray that his legacy lives on and that his family members and loved ones are inspired to know that he was one of the most influential people in the world and he stood for something good. So his legacy will live on for many decades to come. Nelson Mandela was truly one in a million. So my heart goes out to his family. And although he was elderly, he was 95 years old, and his health was ailing, it still hits a sensitive nerve to me, because it's just like, I wonder, will we have any more visionaries in this generation? Will we have any more people that are willing to stand up for the rights of mankind? Whether it's people just standing up for illiteracy in the cities of the United States of America, or whether it's someone standing up against the issues of hunger in America. We have so many celebrities and so many people that have power, but are using it for their own selfish gain. We need to endorse clothing products or, sell fragrances, but they're not making a real change. And I remember a long time ago, Harry Belafonte made a statement about that. And it used to be a time where your Muhammad Ali's and people of social status took a stand against injustices and used their power for great things. So I just pray and hope that his life and legacy inspires people of today to get up and to make changes and to live for the better, especially as a black man, a man of color. Like, we come from black people, we come from royalty. They hear the stories of Martin Luther King and um, Nelson Mandela and Malcolm X, and what they stood for empowers me. And even the story of Mansa Musa, who many don't know, was one of the wealthiest black men in history. He came from the kingdom of Mali, and his estimated net worth was supposed to be around $400 billion. He made a trip to Mecca, a holy pilgrimage to Mecca years ago, centuries ago, and he passed away in 1331, I believe. And legend has it that him and his entourage dropped so much gold through the streets of Cairo, Egypt, as they made their way to Mecca, that the price of gold went down in Mecca. I mean, went down in Cairo, Egypt, for for a long time, and that the economy had a surplus of money because his entourage dropped so much gold. They say he had an entourage of 500 people. So just hearing these stories about these people inspired me as a black man to be great. Even when I was a kid, it helped captivate my mind and to help make my mind great in the sense that I think outside the box and I'm willing to do what I have to do to be great. So, like I said, lastly, just pray for his family and I just pray that you all were inspired by him, by his journey, as much as I am, as much as my people are. And to my brothers and sisters in Africa, I pray for you guys in the continent of Africa. So many different countries within the continent of Africa, but I pray my prayers are specifically for his people and his home country, and that there's peace and love, and that they have the that they're resilient and strong, just like he was, and are willing to go against the grain. And that's all I had to say. Just paying homage to Nelson Mandela for the great person that he was, and I didn't know him personally, but just his story. He was truly a hero, a true icon, the true definition of an icon. So homage to him and salute.